Okay, here's the orc play for newbies against undead newbies. I'm not sure if this guy is actually good or not. But if you want a fun, easy way to play against undead, here's how to do it. Now this is of course against a viewer called Skyremoon. Skyremoon, so thank you if you ever end up watching this VOD. Skyremoon, thanks for playing. And you know, there's always going to be builds that are popular at pro play. There's going to be builds that there's some builds that I recommended in my build order list. But if you just want to change things up sometimes or kind of go in a different way, that may not technically be the best, but still could be very effective at your level, which may not be the pro level, then I would recommend trying this. So first one to altar, next new peon goes to burrow, next new peon fills up the gold mine, and all new peons afterwards go to lumber, until you are at 17 out of 21 food. So I've got 3 more peons in production. We're not building anything else yet. We're gonna mostly try to be a disruption. We're gonna be the spouse that stands in front of the television while the other spouse is trying to watch the sports game. And we're gonna be like, gonna talk about topics about what Martha did recently. You can't believe it, while you're trying to watch the penalty kick. I'm gonna disrupt him as much as possible. And once I have 190 lumber and the final peon finishes, I'm gonna tech to tier 2. And you'll see I won't be having much APM either because it is not necessary. I may even be mostly playing with one hand. Hey, I was watching that. Okay, so once we're at 50 lumber, we're gonna make a barracks. We're gonna bring the peon back to lumber. We're gonna send 1 or 2 wolves on the acolyte, 1 to his main, and the farseer goes to the first creep camp that we think they may be doing. Send the wolf after the acolyte, keeping an eye on it to see if he's gonna go around the corner. You can sometimes lose track of them. We're gonna make a war mill immediately after the second burrow. Then we're gonna check, hey, are you creeping or not? He's not creeping yet. He might be doing the turtles. And we'll just go for his acolytes. Just kind of keep them busy with that. Force Nerubian Tower. Maybe cancel second cigarette. So there is his Death Knight. Gonna send our Farseer away. Now Happy would have of course already finished 1 or 2 creeps, but this isn't Happy. And no Nerubian Tower yet, so we're gonna keep up the pressure.
Greetings, friend.
Barracks finishes, and we're gonna make 2 grunts. If you control group your barracks, it's gonna be easier to make those grunts. Now I'm going to back off. You should keep on, but I'm gonna back off so that he doesn't die too early. Because if I keep that up with him not making the Rubian, which is a mistake, I'm gonna win already without having the rest of the strategy come into action. So the grunts, we will rally it on top of our Farseer. We're gonna do like an evaluation of, does he have a lot of threat right now on us, yes or no? He doesn't. We can actually cancel the second grunt, but we don't have to for simplicity's sake. We can't just keep making it. But if we cancel it, we're gonna have more money for wyverns. Okay, we're gonna finish our tech. We're gonna try to disrupt him on the creep camps that he does. Once our tier 2 finishes, very important to start the bestiaries immediately, as well as the Shadow Hunter. And we have resources for that. And then the third burrow as well. Now, had we not cancelled the grunt, the third burrow would come later. The advantage of cancelling that grunt first, and even making it now, is that we can build the bestiary, the shadow, and the burrow at the same time, which means we only need to look back at our main base once. Instead of coming back 5 seconds later, and as we all know, as a nublet, you may not have perfect macro, so you're gonna be like busy harassing and then you forget your third burrow again. So I'm gonna finish that second grunt, just so that you can see that it makes sense to delay it a bit, so that you can queue all 5 actions at the same time. Now I don't have a shop yet, which you can make it, but I don't think it's actually very important to make it early. You want to, with this build, save as much money as possible while selling all the items that you can find, except the absolutely best ones. You can see now I have exactly money for 2 wyverns. Had I made a shop, had I made a 3rd grunt, had I bought things from a shop, I would not have had money to immediately make 2 wyverns. And those 2 wyverns are the most important, because those are going to be the surprise wyverns. Any wyverns afterwards, and this is what you do when you meet him, right? Those first wyverns are the surprise wyverns. They're going to get you maybe a fiend kill or 2. So after those first 2, we're going to make 1 more. Note that we don't have enough burrow to make another. If we lose a grunt, we could. So again, had we not made that 2nd grunt, we'd actually be able to have the 4th wyvern, which I think it's better than having that 2nd grunt. But this isn't without value. This extra grunt, it's bonus damage. This is the surprise wyvern effect. After the next kills we get, we're gonna fall back and we're gonna do the 2nd part of the plan. He should be getting webbed now, which means we need to go back within seconds. I want 1 more wyvern kill. We don't get it, so whatever. We go back now, okay? That was all just part of the plan. Now we're getting fortified defenses and we're gonna do the 2nd part of the plan. We've got what we could. We put the grunt on the fountain, if it is a fountain map, otherwise whatever. We're gonna bring 3 to 4 peons and make new ones at home, temporarily halting all unit production and focus completely on towering up. We can also make a shop, and we need more peons. And of course, always rescue your grunts from the fountain when they wake up. Okay, so just make any number of peons at home until you feel like you've got a good lumber situation. So you have fortified, you've got towers here, and that's the key, right? You creep as much as you want and can, and then you head back for your shop. Either you already have it or you're still making it like me. I have 4 peons here, 4 here and 1 producing, so I have a total of 9. That means I made 2 extra compared to what I had before. Towers are finished. Now we're gonna send everything back. We don't need to actively keep peons around here. We're gonna now we're interested to see if he is going to expand as well and what he has in his main. So 1 wolf to each. We're gonna sell unnecessary items, like stat buffing items. He prevented me from seeing his main. But we did see that he was headed towards our expo. So we are going to make 2 extra wyverns while standing in a position that can zone out against him attacking my towers. While he won't be able to take out the towers in a jiffy. Oh, okay. He won't be able to take out the towers easily. But what he can do is to just walk into the Great Hall and attack it. So the goal will be, if he ever goes for my expo or my main, which reminds me, tower up the main too. If he ever goes for either one, then we want to do a base trade, where we go for his towers. So there he is, and he is indeed here to harass my tower. So we're gonna actually defend as best we can here. This is a bit like normally I should be harassing him instead. But since he's just straight up right clicking, he should have just went on with it. Normally he should be webbing my fiends and he gets the kill 2 to 3 and it could be just game over here. We really can't afford to let him get position on our expo like this. But yeah, what you can do is you can make copies of wyverns, hex other fiends. And this just shows, if anything, that if you also look at the money I have, that I don't have enough towers. You want another 3 towers here. As lame as you can make it, really. Now we can send peons to our expo. We're gonna repair and then go inside. Again, normally I should be going for the counter-attack on his acolytes. We didn't do this, which is a pity. And the reason I couldn't go for a counterattack is because I tried too much to creep. It would have been better if instead of creeping the fountain, I just put myself in a situation where I can do exactly what I said I should be able to do, which is to go for the counterattack. So I just put myself here. I saw he was mid, right? I saw he was mid. And then I should have put myself near his base, but not in his path. So I scout this, stand here, and then if he goes to my main, I immediately hit him here. Good burrowing. Yeah, usually you want to avoid these fights, but you're not hopeless if it does happen. Especially with the running base, you can trade unevenly, which is typically what wyverns will do. Honestly, pretty good micro for you know, for a viewer, since I don't know him. He's microing his heart out, but we have an expansion. Oops. Just don't keep flying your wyverns into his army. Just TP. I'm just rallying everything over the fiends that are still on the island. So yeah, this just illustrates that in a sustained fight he can actually come out ahead, even if you've got like a much better macro situation going. So we send Wolf here, we send Wolf here, and we do what we should have done a long time ago, of course, is to have Dust of Appearance. I'm really trying not to play too fast, but I accidentally have 180 APM, even though I played the first few minutes with one hand. I'm trying to keep it reproducible, but... So we've got towers here, we've got towers here. We can go for the Zeppelin and take a picnic in his main base over the gold mine.
Are there enemies above?
See if he's re-expanding here. Can even send a grunt there. All new wyverns should be rallied to the back here. He sees me there.
Are you threatening me? Are there enemies above?
And then we can go to tier 3 and get envenomed spears. he decided to go for the grunt and ignore the wyverns. A bold strategy. Okay, then we're gonna TP. We could just get back in the Zeppelin, but let's keep it simple. I cannot guarantee that my Padawan, you, will be doing all the Zeppelin plays right. So now he lost that gold mine, he still has the other one. This is the worst part of the game for me because, well, it's let's say the riskiest, because you pulled out the rug from under him in that he doesn't have an expansion, but I'm gonna give the rope now to the shadow. You pulled out the rug from under him, but your army is smaller. He hasn't been losing army. So make sure that you remember, just because you're ahead, it doesn't mean you're ahead in every way. You're ahead economically, but Warcraft 3 is a weird game. Economic advantage doesn't translate to a bigger army for a long time. It's a very weird game. It's because of upkeep, among other things. It's because of upkeep, it's because of relatively low income from bases, and also creeping gives a lot of income. So in theory here, enemy player can have a lot more creeping than you, and then better upkeep management because you need more workers for the expo. So they can actually still win the fight, and you don't have War Stomp to really win like big fights. So that still means you have to play quite ratish for a while. It means going in and trying to kill some ghouls, cancel some ziggurats. Gold mine again. Now we get Envenomed Spears. We get our Kodo Beast. Block with the Farseer. Do we get the gold mine? Maybe because of attack upgrade? Yeah, because of attack upgrade.
My eyes are on the order. Are you threatening me?
Are you threatening me?
We need work control.
So did we get our Kodo yet? Coming now.
Direct my blade. You need my counsel.
And Kodo drums, and then we get Dark Ranger third, yeah? We won't have TC. TC is also very good, but I think as a nublet, it's slightly more difficult to control TC third, because he's nukeable, than a Dark Ranger.
I need order.
So we're gonna get the Dark Ranger. He's actually ready to attack because his economy has been gutted. So he's got to do something that he really doesn't want to do. We get Silence. Now, of course, it won't be easy to control 3 heroes as a nublet. But just press F3 and get your E ready, or whatever hotkey you've chosen. Hex the first fiend you see, summon wolves, click it, and then silence the Death Knight. And you turn on Speed Scroll, you chain lightning, you attack the next fiend, you attack the next fiend. You heal whatever, and then your next silence should be ready, which we can use on the DK again while going for the Lich again. And that's his invul. Eat if you have time. Use dust. Heal the wolves because there's nothing else that's hurt. Hex DK. Nice. GG. He played pretty well. Good micro in fight. He was covering the fight over a very large area at the concealed hill, keeping position with fiends, trying to catch wyverns that were flying away. honestly, really good adaptive play by him. Nearly sniped the Great Hole. Mistakes here and there, of course. He's not a pro, but yeah, really respectable play. GG.